Hey everybody, Rick Studley coming to you from the Fallow Mire in Dragon Age Inquisition with a big fat helping of combat and exploration in the game. Like I said, I'm in the Fallow Mire, which is a very swampy section that has been overrun with the undead. And this is just going to be 15 minutes of fighting and fun. Let's do a quick rundown of the crew here. This is the base crew that you start the game with. Cassandra, the Seeker, is my sword and board tank. Varric, who you'll obviously know if you play Dragon Age 2, is my ranged rogue. And for my mage, the apostate elf Solace, it's kind of frustrating because they don't seem to have just a flat-out healing spell anymore. So he can do a lot of buffs and shields. But if I actually need somebody's health back, I have to use one of my 8 potions or I'm SOL. So, let's watch and see what's going on. Just a quick rundown on my own character. This particular version of Rick Studley, whom I have some canonical issues with that I can discuss at another time. But this Rick Studley is a two-hander from the Free Marshes. I think my family name is Trevelyan, so I'm a minor noble. Not quite unlike the hero of Ferelden that I have in this game state. Obviously, since you can't import game saves, you have to go on Dragon Age Keep and make a game state. But as a two-hander, I'm mainly damage dealing. I'm going to eventually, and at this point I haven't, but I'm going to eventually spec into Reaver to increase my abilities. I mean, Reaver's obviously going to be familiar with anybody who played the first game. But you'll see I've just now started to, at this point in the game, learn about my crowd controlling abilities, and especially now that I have unlocked the fighting chain, which is just fun on a bun. I also have, and I'll try to point it out if I see myself use it, a Fade Rift ability, which is tied into the plot of the game. Here it is, right here. This is a brutal AoE that I can only use very rarely. In fact, I haven't entirely learned when the gauge is full yet. But it does big dots and slows, and it really changes the course of even big-time fights. This is raw footage, by the way. I just decided after the end of this segment that I would just record it and post it up for people to see, so there's going to be a few spots where I stand around and do nothing because I'm, blowing my nose or trying to figure out what I'm supposed to be doing or whatever. a quick note on why I'm here, while we see one of the many games that this one has stolen influence from. I've come to this incredibly disgusting swamp because an Avar, one of the more barbarian races in the game, has kidnapped some of my Inquisition soldiers and is holding them so that he can get me to come fight him. He's an idiot, and obviously he's going to get what's coming to him. If you saw, I just checked my potions. This is not Dragon Age, the original Origins. This is a very different and I think very frustrating change. I can't just walk into the final battle with 100 potions. You get 8. The only way to restore them is to stop at a supply cache or pop into the tent and get your 8 back. And that is a total pool. Your 4-person party has 8 total potions. If you pick up an extra person during another quest mission, you pick up 2 extra people just for that mission, they use your potions. And it's awful. I mean, I get that they're trying to, add strategy and whatever to the game. But I don't want strategy, I want 100 potions.
Allying with the Inquisition is likely to give the Templars significantly more authority.
That is the likely result, yes.
Does that concern you?
If I were to be shackled, you would have done so by now. I am an asset, if not a friend. I may disagree with the Inquisition's choices, but such concerns pale in comparison to the threat we face. Regardless of who is responsible, the conflict between Templars and mages helped Corypheus rise to power. We cannot afford to let political infighting distract us from our duty.
Agreed. When it is done, I promise what you have done here will not be forgotten.
Thank you, Seeker.
So, you're Herald of Andraste. My kin want you dead, Lowlander, but it's not my job. No fears from me.
Why aren't you with the other Avar?
Trying to figure out this hole in the world. Never seen anything like it's like. They spit out angry spirits. Endless. What the sky's trying to tell us? I don't know.
They're caused by the breach in the sky. It was some kind of magic gone wrong.
I know that, Lowlander. I'm talking about the Lady of the Skies. Do you not know her? Can't you see the warning she writes through the bird flocks in the air?
Interesting how widely Ferelden beliefs diverge.
Call me Ferelden again, Elf, and see how far you get.
The other Avar kidnapped an Inquisition patrol. Are they all right?
A few were injured in the skirmish, but they were alive. Last I saw them. Someone's trained them well. They killed more of us than I thought they would.
I thought the Avar wanted to fight me.
Our chieftain's son wants to fight you. I'm called in when the dead pile up. Rites to the gods, mending for the bleeding, a dagger for the dying. That's what I do. I don't pick up a blade for a whelp's trophy hunt.
Farewell then.
Watch the water.
Okay, I'm getting ready to close a rift. The whole point of the game, I mean, the very first thing that happens is a rift opens. So it's all focused around these rifts and the guy who's responsible for them and all of that. Closing the rifts isn't that frustrating of a thing to have to do, although hunting them all down can be. Basically, rift opens, dudes pop out, kill them all, close the rift. You can, however, and this is a bit of fun, if you can get away from the, storm of combat for long enough, while your opponents are tangled up with your crew, you can disrupt the rift, which will put a heavy stun effect on your enemies, and is very useful when you're fighting, say, arcane horrors, or the big rage demons or what have you. But you see, every time we kill one of its thugs, the undead aren't usually its thugs, by the way. That's so far unique to here. Kill the thugs, the rift's health goes down. When it gets down to a sliver, you can close it with your magic hand. And I've always had magic hands.
Aye.
Farewell then.
Watch the water.
There's almost no mention of your part in the tale of the champion barrack.
I don't want to bore people.
You don't want to incriminate yourself, you mean?
Oh, same thing, really.
Quite a smell.
These people never had a chance.
Did you ever have a bad idea? Because I just had one. This is a fight I should not have picked, against something that looks like a giant mole. And as my party bleeds to death in the murky Fallow Mire, I bid you adieu from the world of Dragon Age Inquisition.